The Board of Selectmen is called to order. I'm the acting first selectman, Christine Vitale, and joined by Selectwoman Kupchak on Zoom. Ask you to all please rise for the pledge. Ms. Brown, will you lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 3, discussion regarding the Board of Selectmen's duty to fill the vacancies on the Board of Selectmen pursuant to Section 6.3B of the Town Charter, including the current vacancy in the first Selectman position. The Board of Selectmen discussed this at our last regular meeting. We did not take any action at that meeting. We discussed having a special meeting. Hoped it was going to happen last week, but schedules did not allow that to happen. So that is the reason for the special meeting today. At the last meeting, Ms. Kupchak asked if the town attorney could be present. He was in court that day and had a conflict. It was very short notice, but did provide a written opinion on the procedure to fill vacancies on the Board of Selectmen per the charter. Attorney Pierce is with us today. I did read his opinion to the record at our last meeting, but he is, I don't know if you can see the room, Brenda, that Attorney Pierce is in the room today if you have any questions. So with that, I will open it up for any comments or discussions on this issue.
Is this item number 3?
It is item number 3.
Thank you.
Sure.
So, Christine, last night I sent an email to Jen and Phil, and Phil wrote me back and said that he had shared it with you. And I'm just going to read it into the record if that's okay.
That's fine.
Jennifer and Phil, I thought long and hard about the item to vote to fill the remaining 27 months of the first selectman term. While this is the first time we've had this specific vacancy situation, it's even more obvious to me now. The vacancy section in the charter should have been updated when the first selectman and selectman terms were changed from 2 years to 4 during the 2006 charter revision. I simply feel it's undemocratic for one person to be asked to essentially choose who will craft budgets, make policy decisions, and be responsible for 500 employees that will have a lasting impact over the next 2 years. Excuse me, a full term when the charter was written on behalf of all the citizens of our town. Upon reflection, it doesn't make sense to go forward with the meeting on the 5th because I'm unable to move forward with this item for the reasons that I've shared. I think the process should proceed as outlined in the charter and move on to the democratic elected officials in town to choose. I understand the concern that the Board of Selectmen has business to take up, but with Christine being away from the 7th through the week of the 11th, there won't be any Board of Selectmen meetings. And also, as evidenced by our meeting on the 9th and 23rd, the board was able to conduct its business in an orderly and productive manner. I enjoy working with Christine, and this doesn't have anything to do with her as a person. This is based on what I believe is a broken process. I genuinely feel that this decision should not be made by one person.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you. And I did learn of this email today, but being that this was a notice meeting, I thought it was important that we hold it just to let the public know where we are in the process. Just appreciate your opinion and stance on this, just where I'm coming from as a duly elected member of the Board of Selectmen. Feel like it's my responsibility to follow the charter, and right now the charter does say that the Board of Selectmen shall act. I am going to be out of town next week, but would available for a special meeting, so if you do have a change of heart on this, would be willing to schedule another special meeting. In terms of, my own personal opinion on this, I ran with Bill Gerber for our seats on the Board of Selectmen. We ran as a team very much together, similar goals, similar agenda. Duly elected to serve on this board, and part of that, I think, is the expectation that someone that ran with him and another fellow Democrat, that if there was a vacancy that did occur in the first selectman seat, that just because we are the same running mates and of the same political party, that I would be a likely candidate to fill that position. But I understand where you're coming from on that. Do you have any questions for Attorney Piers?
No, I read his, his opinion, and I did review, obviously, we've been reviewing the charter over the last several months, and read it pretty thoroughly. And, just reiterating what I said before, I don't know why, no one thought to change this when they changed the terms in 2006, because, I mean, maybe they never thought this would happen. Within this time frame like this. I don't know why they should have. They changed the term from 2 to 4, and they should have changed this language. They just should have.
Well, and I think that it is important just for the public's that this has happened. We have had to fill vacancies in the Board of Selectmen before. Granted, it wasn't because of the first selectman passing, but it was still a vacancy just the same. The procedure was followed, and the Board of Selectmen acted. We just went through a charter revision. We're going to be voting on that tomorrow. This item was never brought up as an area of concern for anyone, and we actually did look at that section. So we're here now. It sounds like we're not going to be taking any action. I would just ask the town attorney, just for the public, could you just, once again, just give a brief overview of what the process is per the town charter?
Sure. So Phil Piers, town attorney. The process starts with the Board of Selectmen. The board has 30 days to act to fill the vacancy. It must fill the vacancy with a Democrat. That period will expire on August 14th. At that point, the town clerk will give notice to Democratic elected officials. It is a limited body of Democratic elected officials. It's the Democrats on the Board of Selectmen, so acting Selectman Vitale, the Democrat Registrar of Voters, the Democrat elected constables, TPZ alternates, the Democrats TPZ alternates, and the ZBA Democrat alternates. That body would then have 60 days from when the vacancy was created to fill the vacancy. So they'd meet and do that. So that'll happen sometime between August 15th and September 15th, somewhere in that period.
Thank you. All right, so that is where we are right now, unless we're not voting and we're not taking any action. There's no public comment on the agenda. So I'm sorry that we cannot take public comment on this, because it wasn't noticed as such. Usually we take public comment right before a vote, but being this is an action item, don't need to limit. Is that correct, Attorney Piers, or do you think that we can take public comment? But I
think it's up to you whether you want to have public comment in the meeting. I think it was intended to be a board discussion, though, on the agenda.
Ms. Coptic, do you have any objection to any members of the? We have some members of the public here that would like to comment, being that they've come out for this.
Right, I had asked that, a notice be sent to people who get the agenda. I would have preferred us not to have the meeting and not have people come out. It is, we usually we only have public comment during votes. And I think we should follow our rules and the Robert's rules to regulate.
So I'm Steve Bogan. I'm a member of I live in Black Rock Turnpike. Just a process question. We're trying to follow along to see what's going to happen next. So you guys aren't going to vote. Are you obligated to vote?
Brenda, would you mind just process questions if the public just has questions for process, just to give clarification on this?
Right, I think you just answered that The next two items are voting items. They're action items. This
Well,
item was.
I think that there's a question still the public has about,
Process, what's next? I mean, you guys
Well,
aren't gonna vote.
right now, we're not going to, we're not moving an action item forward. So right now, unless Ms. Kupchak has a change of heart and is ready to take action right now, we can't move anything forward, being a two-person
You can't even vote.
board. We cannot vote. We cannot vote. I mean, we could try to vote. I can move it forward. I'm assuming that we won't necessarily get a second based on how the last meeting, but I will be moving forward with the agenda. But just for process, in order to vote, someone has to make a motion. It would probably be me. It has to be seconded. If it's not seconded, the item does not move forward, which is what happened at our last meeting.
Okay.
Based on Ms. Kupchak's, the comments that she shared, it does not sound like she's ready to take action, but we'll go through the agenda as written.
Christine, if you would like to have Attorney Pierce reiterate what he just said about how the process works, if that's helpful too.
Well, I think that right now, if the Board of Selectmen, this decision right now, per the town charter, is in the hands of the Board of Selectmen. We have 30 days from July 15th to act. That is what we're supposed to be doing right now, per the charter that, for good or bad, that we are required to follow as elected officials. That is what we are attempting to do today, and will attempt to do until that 30 days expires. If we do not come to an agreement within those 30 days, as Attorney Pierce shared, it will be going to those Democratic town officials next to make a decision. Ms. Kupchak shared her thoughts on this, and that she feels like it should go to, instead of having 2 people make the decision, it will now move forward to 10 people making the decision. It's not going to it does not include the RTM, it does not include elected Democratic boards that, the boards have to be elected at the same time, so the other boards are elected at different times. And that is why that particular group was chosen, and that's in state statute. So we are guided by the charter first for the 30 days for the Board of Selectmen, and then we move forward to the state statute, which guides this process. This is not a process that I wrote from the very start about this. First Selectman Gerber named me as acting first selectman in his absence. This is where we are right now. We are in that 30-day window of the Board of Selectmen shall fill the vacancy. And I shared that I would be willing to continue on in this role. I appreciate that we are not in agreement right now, but that is why we're having these meetings, and we'll be having this discussion until that 30-day window passes. All right. So moving on to agenda item number 4. To hear, consider, and act on the designation as Selectman Christine Vitale to the position of First Selectman to fill the vacancy in the First Selectman position pursuant to Section 6.3B of the Town Charter. I will make that motion. Can I have a second? Seeing none, the motion does not move forward. Number 5, to hear, consider, and act on nominations to fill a potential vacancy in the Selectman position pursuant to Section 6.3B of the Town Charter. We will not be moving forward on this. This would be needed if I was appointed to be the First Selectman. I could get sworn in right now, and then there would be a vacancy in the Selectman seat. And filling that vacancy, it's the exact same process. It doesn't differ between First Selectman and Selectmen. Basically, what Attorney Pierce shared would be the same process if we needed to fill the Selectman seat. I want to thank members of the public for following along on this journey. Just for the public, I have been, reaching out to Democratic officials and friends for feedback on potential nominations or people that might be willing to serve. As I shared at the last meeting, the Chief of Staff also reached out to Ms. Kupchak to share any recommendations that she might have to fill any potential vacancies on the Board of Selectmen, and that is where we are in the process. So I think we're done. So with that, a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.